Good morning and welcome to Traders 20 on ET Now. I'm Megha Chadha.
Good morning everyone, I'm Avan Dabash. Well, Traders 20 is the show where we get you a daily dose of 20 fresh stock ideas so that you can have a profitable trading day. We'll get in on board our 6 technical experts over the next 30 minutes to identify some of the most exciting bets in the markets.
And as always, along with all those equity ideas, we'd also be showcasing commodity picks as well as strategies that would help you make the best of the futures and options market. So let's get started first up by telling you about the star lineup for today. We've got Ashwini Gujral joining in from New Delhi as always. We also have Mitesh, Prakash as well as Sandeep joining in from Mumbai. We will have Shrikant Chauhan also joining in a while from now, as well as Deepak Mohani from Pune.
Okay, not too much of a movement is what you're seeing on the frontline index. So once again, it's turning out to be a flattish sort of day of trade. It's 58.46 on the Nifty. For the Sensex, we're off by 7 points, 19,220. The breadth of the market as we speak is even Stevens, so split right in the middle. In terms of sectoral indices, you do have the real estate index as well as autos, which are holding up marginally. But your pressure point is FMCG once again and consumer durables. So names like a Power Grid by Fiatel featuring on the list. ITC once again comes under quite a bit of pressure. Hero Motocorp, Bank of Baroda, BHEL and Ambuja Cements not having the best of runs. And you've got an Asian Paints as well as ONGC weighing down pretty heavily on the index. Let's pull up some of the top gainers for today. Jindal Steel and Power features on the list. Tata Motors, so clearly it's been a pretty stellar week for the auto pack as a whole. Ultratech Cement and TCS Reals higher by close to 1%. M&M, DLF, BPCL as well as Sesa Goa and Reliance Industries. Well, let's give you a disclaimer from our end. Do remember to consult your financial advisor before taking on board positions in any of the stocks recommended today. Let's get on board Ashwini Gujral, who joins in from New Delhi, as well as Mitesh Thakkar to outline their top technical trading ideas for today. Ashwini, what's your call on the Nifty at 58.46? What do you make of the week gone by and what do you expect for the coming week, as well as your top trading recommendations?
Well, the market still appears to be a bit corrective because it's not able to go down in large dollops, and chances are that this week has been sideways to down, and which is fine. A lot of stocks which ran up a lot, they have corrected. Stocks which didn't go up so much are not really going down. So this is the opportunity that people want to look for in terms of getting into the market. Yes, you could have 20-30 points, but the way we are going and the speed at which we are going, I don't think the market will be able to go too much below 5800, 5820. So having said that, right now is a good risk reward point in terms of going long. In terms of individual stocks, Oracle Financial is a buy with a stop about 3100, target of 3250. Tata Motors DVR is a buy with a stop about 168, target of 181. Jubilant Food is a buy with a stop about 1330, target of 1410. And Raymond is a sell with a stop about 468, target of 435.
Okay, those are the top trading ideas coming in from Ashwini. Mitesh, tell us about the topics that you've identified.
See, I've got a sell on ABB to begin with. That's a stock which is giving a breakdown below the weekly support levels of 710, 705, and today being the weekly closing, it looks like that the stock will remain weak, and we'll see some kind of corrective action or decline happening over here. So sell with a stop at 716 for a target of 650. Buy on Bank of Baroda, which is slightly aggressive in the sense that we have the inflation numbers today, but I think this is a stock which is now very close to very strong support levels of 804, 802. So maybe low risk kind of a trade over here. Keeping a stop at 798, I would look for a target of 840 on the upside. I've got a buy on Bharat Forge where I'm waiting for the price to start trading about 270. About 270 short-term breakout happens and then we might see some kind of a technical rally happening over there. So buy about 270, keep a stop at 263 and look for a target of 285 on the upside. And finally a sell on Power Grid, which has been kind of going through a marginal corrective decline. It's a low beta stock, but I think it can still decline to about levels of 113, which is the 200-day average, and sell this with a stop at about 118.25.
Okay, those are some trading ideas that Mitesh Thakkar has given us on Friday. Well, let's get your individual queries answered. The first query for the day comes in on Corporation Bank. We've got Mr. LK Mittal, pardon me, a retiree who's joining in on the phone line from Bangalore. Hi, Mr. Mittal. Welcome to the show. What's your query?
Well, I have 400 shares of Corporation Bank bought at 620 1.5 years back. I want to know what do I do with it? Shall I hold it, sell it?
Well, unfortunately, you probably bought it when the cycle in banking was up. See, there are two ways of doing things in Corporation Bank. Either you just move to a mid-cap private sector bank, something like a Yes Bank, which is at 52-week high. And broadly, IndusInd Bank, Yes Bank, Federal Bank, etc. All of these private mid-cap banks are doing very well. So that's one way of doing things if you want, things to recover in the short run. If, you must stay with Corporation Bank for some reason, then, you need to average it down around these current levels and average it with 800 stocks bought at around current prices, which means whenever the sentiment on PSU banks, and it will improve. See, no PSU bank will go out of business. So whenever the sentiment improves, only then you will see prices closer to 600, 650, but you will make money only if you get your acquisition price lower. Right now it's underperforming, but chances are as the economy recovers, rates come down, all banking stocks will go up. So it's your choice how you want to deal with this. But given your current quantity and your current acquisition price, it will be difficult for you to make money from here.
Okay, Mr. Mithil, so either you could look at switching to a private sector bank or else look at averaging your initial investment. On to the next query for the day. This one comes in on a Tata Motors. We've got Sanjay Chaubey on the line with us. Sanjay, hi. Thanks very much for being with us. Tell us about your holding in Tata Motors.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Hello.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have bought the Tata Motors 200 shares at the rate of 280 just 15 days back. So whether I should hold it or what should I do further? That is the query on Tata Motors.
Well, first of all, you need to understand that you haven't really bought a bargain basement stock. So it has rallied a fair bit from 220 to about 280 now. That's fine. But what you can do is keep a stop loss of about 270, so which is just about $10 from your acquisition price, and then aim for targets about 330. That's possible. That can happen in the next 2 or 3 months in case the market keeps moving higher. It's starting to outperform even the auto sector now. So it's probably a fairly decent hold from here, but make sure you keep an eye on the stop loss.
Keep an eye on the stop loss, but definitely a hold on Tata Motors. The last and final query comes in via email on CESC. Mr. A.K. Ghosh says that he's bought 20 shares at an average price of 277. Should he book profits at current levels with a time horizon of the next 1 month, Ashwini?
Well, you haven't really made too much money to be booking profits, and given that retail is going to be in buzz over the next few months, I think CESC keep a break-even stop, and maybe you can get levels about 363 in a 1 year kind of scenario, maybe even 430. So the idea should be once something starts working, try to make it big, and because the odds are that you will not find many stocks that will work. Often the success rate on finding good stocks is 40 to 50%. But if you make those investments move a fair distance before you get out, then you are able to fund your losses. Getting out after a 15-20 rupee type of profit, I don't think really makes too much sense.
Okay, Mr. Ghosh, so you can stay invested in a CESC even from a slightly longer term perspective. But a reminder once again before we move ahead that there are going to be a lot of stocks discussed on the show, so please consult your financial advisor before you take any investment decision.
Benchmark indices struggling a bit, but the broader markets are holding up marginally in the green, at least for the mid-cap index, small-cap index, flat. Well, on that note then, let's take it straight to Deepak Mahoney to find out what he's recommending this morning. Deepak, you've got 2 buys and 1 short sell?
That's right. The first of the buys is Treehouse Education. This is an interesting stock. Unlike most new listings which either tank from the beginning or go up for a while and then tank, this has more or less persisted in making new highs, and it appears to be beginning another move after a short correction today. So it's a buy with a stop loss of 267, target of 282. The second buy is Union Bank, a more conventional buy. Some of the banks at least are looking up today. This is again one of those stocks which corrected a bit and is starting a move. It's a pretty high momentum bank. Stop loss of 252 and a target of 266. So those were the two buys. The one short sale is in Power Grid Corporation. Pure day trade with a stop loss of 117, target of 112. This stock has really not participated in the last rally at all, and now it started sliding down a bit. So looks like a good short sale candidate.
Okay, so Power Grid is a short. Treehouse and Union Bank is something that you can look at buying into. Shrikant, you on the other hand have got 3 buying ideas.
Yeah, so like I'm expecting market to remain in a range, and that is why the stock specific activity we can expect out of say like specific stocks, and in that specifically we are looking for Jubilant Food. The stock is into monthly say like rectangle consolidation. The stock has completed its say like 50% kind of move. So from here we can expect 1390 or 1400 in next say like few days. After say like crossing 1320, the stock is continuously supporting above that level. So with a stop loss of say like 1315, we can enter into a long positions for the target of 1390 or 1400 on the higher side. The other side, we are looking for say like Reliance Industries, because again the stock has given a substantial run up from 770 to say like 860, 865 on the high side, and after that again the stock has formed a higher bottom at 814 levels. So in my sense, I think the stock is again managing above its important level, and on the say like dismissal of the resistance zone of 835, 840, we can expect the next target again up to 875 to 880 on the high side. So with a stop loss of say like 825, we can enter into a long positions at current levels. And the last one is on the select technology side, and that is HCL Tech. The stock has given tremendous return and absolute say like very strong momentum in last say like several months and weeks. So I'm expecting that the stock is again available at its weekly support of 625, 610 on the downside. So with a stop loss of say like 610 on the downside, we can enter into a long positions at current levels, and minimum we can expect 650, but maybe in say like next few weeks we can even expect 680 or 690 on the high side.
Okay, that's 3 buy calls that Shrikant is advocating. Many thanks for joining in. That wraps up the equity trading ideas. What about commodities? Let's get in our commodities and currencies editor, Manisha Gupta, who now joins in. Gold heading for the third straight weekly drop, Manisha.
Well, yes, precious metals really haven't done so much in the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks to be exact there, and ditto is the case with silver as well. Longest weekly declines coming in for that one as well in last 7 months. While you have seen the interest rates continue lower and the Fed promising more fiscal monetary policy easing there, but the point is that the scope of these monetary policies is something that has been under question, and that is weighing onto the prices. Also, you have seen the physical buying decline in the recent days as investors expect the prices to decline further. So in both senses, futures and physical, you haven't seen much buying happen in case of gold prices. Same is the case with crude as well. We are headed for a weekly decline for this one as well. At this point, it's holding slightly in the green into the markets, but the fiscal cliff agreement or the stalling of it is something that's weighing onto this space as well. The only sector that has done well in this week has been the base metal prices. 5th straight week of gains coming in for copper, and we still are holding around that 8,000 mark. Strong data from China and US in sense of manufacturing and employment is something that really seems to be supporting this sector in all of these weeks. How do you trade the commodities then? For that, let's go across to Hitesh Jain from IIFL, and he joins us live on the show. Hitesh, hi, welcome. How are you looking at the crude prices? Some support coming back into that one. Do you think it's a good buying opportunity?
Yes, see, notwithstanding the recent choppy trade in various commodities, crude prices have done considerably well to sustain around the $86 per barrel level, prominently supported by the geopolitical dynamics. And we would prefer to buy crude oil a bit on the dips. We would prefer to buy crude oil December contract at 4710 with a target of 4760 and a stop loss of 4680.
Hitesh, what's your sense coming in for the base metal prices, especially copper, which did touch 2012 highs? We've seen good amount of, or rather 6% of gains coming in the last 1 month itself.
Yes, see, today copper prices have already reacted to the positive flow of the manufacturing survey from China. But we would prefer to buy copper a bit on the dips. We would prefer to buy copper Feb contract around 445 with a target of 450 and a stop loss of 442.
All right, Hitesh, appreciate you joining us for the commodity segment. So those are the 2 buy calls coming in from IIFL on crude and copper, both these commodities for the day today. With that, it's back to you, Avan.
Thanks very much for that, Manisha, as well as Hitesh for joining in with all those trading strategies. Let's cut across to Dr. C. Rangarajan, who is talking right now.
Well, it's a welcome trend if the inflation rate has come down, but one has to analyze and see what the non-food manufacturing inflation is. It is not a very sharp decline, but it is moving in the right direction. But on the other hand, the CPI inflation showed a rise and it is almost close to 10%. So it needs careful examination.
So you think RBI should be more realistic and accept that this is the new normal and they should
I don't think we can accept a new normal of a very high level of inflation. I don't think that the economy can bear continuously a very high level of inflation. We should work towards a more comfortable level of inflation, which is in the region of 5 to 6%.
So do you expect now this to restrain RBI from actually loosening its rates for the next
I have no view on this just now.
Okay, Dr. C. Rangarajan making some comments there on inflation, saying that can't accept higher inflation as the new norm. Don't expect a cut in interest rates on the 18th, but perhaps the RBI will go ahead and cut interest rates in the January policy. Interesting, getting these statements ahead of the WPI inflation numbers for November, where we are expecting it at 7.4%. Well, on that note, let's take time out to thank our 6 technical experts for joining in on the show and walking us through their top trading recommendations. It's been great having you. And of course, a disclaimer from our end, do remember that that you must consult your financial advisor before taking on board any recommendations that have been given.